Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, and Season 12 info has dropped. I'm going to spend 90 seconds talking about Season 12 info because I cover them every week on the turnover anyways with teams and everything, and focus 15 plus minutes on move updates because I think it's more important of what these move updates are, how do they affect the current meta, and what does that mean for the new meta potentially looking forward, and what Pokemon you need to start looking at to getting good IVs for. So appreciate you hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Let's just take 60 seconds to go over the leagues. Again, I won't go over you can just read it for yourself. Plus, on the Thursday, the turnover of the league, I go over so let's just say September 8th, in the morning of September 8th, I will come and say, so we had the Great League and Psychic Cup coming out. Here's what the Psychic Cup is. Here's how the meta looks, and here are teams that you can use. So I go over that all the time. Just note that there's just a few old cups, few new cups, few bring back Premier Classic, like they're bringing back Premier Classic, which is no Legendary, no Excel for Ultra League and Master League, so you only need level 40s there. Couple new cup, a lot of open Master Leagues. I saw that, like open Master League here. A couple special Catch Cup editions. So I'll just flag this one is that Catch Cup is for the entire season. So anything you start catching from Season 12 starting up until the ending is you can use during this last week. So just save those Pokemon over the last 3 months that you've used and that have potential. And then there's go battle days and stuff like that. Again, I will make videos for each of these individual things closer to, we don't need to go over the remix cups. And I will go over all this when it comes out for the week. What is important here? So what's important now are the move attack, the 2 new attacks, attack changes, and who gets new moves. So double kick is a 8 damage fast move. And basically it's one of those that it's better than, it's worse than counter, but better than, no, I don't want to say cross chop, than the other, I forget what the other fighting move is, but it's somewhere in between. So do Pokemon with this move become usable? Yes and no. The problem is it still pales in comparison to counter, and counter did not get a nerf in any sense. So it's still better to use the Pokemon with counter on it as opposed to these moves. Fairy Wind is a Mudshot Psycho Cut clone, which is Fairy Wind, which is you get to the move like super fast. You don't do barely any damage, but you're fast energy generation on your charge moves, so you can throw your charge moves more. So what that basically does is change the way fairy type Pokemon are used. Because right now, because it was only like fairy Pokemon, you use Charm. If you run into a wall right away, you're in trouble. But Fairy Wind, if you have Pokemon with Fairy Wind, they get to their fast charge moves fast, so they can potentially have coverage moves for other Pokemon. So that is a nice upgrade for fairy Pokemon. So let's talk about attack changes, what these attack changes mean for the meta. So Zap Cannon was a direct target at Registeel, and trainer, so during the battles, chances to lower the opposing Pokemon's attack is no longer guaranteed. So I have 2 issues with this. One, no longer guaranteed. We don't know what that is. That could be, you can drop it from 100% to 50%. They can drop it to 25%. They can drop it to 10%. My guess is that's probably still going to be somewhere in the 50% range. The problem that I mentioned, if you go back, watch my video about when I was guessing about these buffs and nerfs, the problem, I mean, the 100% attack drop was a problem for sure. But first of all, if they only drop to 50%, that's still 50% of the time that they're going to get it, and Registeel is going to still be as dominant as it always has. And the second problem is Zap Cannon, because lock on, you get 10 energy per second, and Zap Cannon is like 140 damage move, something like that. You now get the coverage for the Pokemon that you were otherwise losing to before. Like you would have lost to Hydro Cannon, Hydro Pump, Azumarill that you now have Zap Cannon for. You lose to like a flyer that was fire, like Charizard, that you now have coverage for. So it's not just the attack, yes, is a much needed drop, but it's not just the attack. It's also like the damage output that it does. So I think just potential. So the fact that they're just lowering the chance still makes Registeel a beast, and I think you're still going to see it everywhere. Like I had not built up as Registeel before this. I'm going to build it up now because I still think it's a beast. Icicle Spear energy cost increase. This was a much needed. The problem with Icicle Spear was that it's such a damage. It's a hard damage move that only took like I think like 545 powder snows to get to, which is way too fast. So they're going to increase the cost. It doesn't say how much. Will Walrein still be useful? I think yes. Will it be less useful? Obviously. Where will it fall in the meta will depend on how much this energy cost increase. If they do like a 5 to 10 energy cost increase. Basically, what I think is going to happen is it's still going to be meta, but there's going to be a lot more like sort of instead of like winning like 70% of the time, it's not going to win like, I don't know, 60% of the time. I'm just making up those numbers up, but it's not going to be as impressive. Rollout, energy generation decreased. Why would they decrease rollout? It's because they're giving us 2 more Pokemon. We'll talk about that in 1 second. I really like these changes that they're making to Ancient Power. So Ancient Power, Omnis Wind, Silver Wind. Basically, these were moves that you got the 2 times increase. So 2 times attacking. So Ancient Power, you got the 2 times attacks increase and 2 times defense increase. Omnis Wind, you got the 2 times a 10, right? And the problem is if you faced a Togekiss with Ancient Power that got the boost, or you faced a Giratina with Omnis Wind that got the boost, you're like done because you can't overcome a 2 times attack and 2 times defense increase. So what they're doing here is they're bumping Ancient Power up a little bit, which is fine, but they're lowering attack and defense increase amount has been lowered. So basically what they're going to do is take it from a 2 level increase to a 1 level increase, because a 1 level increase is still good. Like getting 1 level increase on both those is still good, but it's not just like the game's over. There's been many times where I faced Giratina in the Master League where they got the boost and you're like, game's over. You can't do anything. So I think this is a much needed lowering it to 1 there. Silver Wind, same thing, up the power below that. Quick Attack and Tackle. So these 2 were like normal type moves where they were just kind of like bad, and Pokemon that had these moves were not strong. So Quick Attack, now you get energy generation increased, and same with Tackle. So basically, if I don't know what the base stats are, but let's say you got like 6 energy per second, and you now make it like, we don't know how much it is, but like 7 energy per second. So that means you get to your charge move faster. So we'd have to see what. It's tough to know right now until we know the stats, but potentially Pokemon with these fast moves could get to the charging faster, which could be more play. So let's go over the Pokemon here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth between PvPoke just to look at what their current moveset is and whether I think it's going to address any of the issues. So Nidorina. So when we start with Nidorina here, as you can see, Poison Sting, Poison Fang, and either you run it with Return if it's a shadow, like a purified, or you run it with a Sludge Bomb, or if it's a shadow. So the problem with it, so you want to keep the Poison Sting, Poison Fang, I think for sure. What the Thunderbolt is going to do is I think provide you a little more coverage, because right now you're right. If with the shadow you're just throwing double poison type moves, and with the non-shadow you're still running a poison and a normal type move. So if you run into a steel, you're essentially in trouble, right? So what this Thunderbolt will do will give you the option to throw something like at a steel. So will that change anything? It'd be nice if you go against a Skarmory, because now you have something to throw at a Skarmory. Is it going to change Nidorina a lot? Nidorina was fringe as it is. So I think what it'll do is give Nidorina a little more play in the cups for coverage. So Nidorina is sometimes using specialty cups, so you can use it for certain coverage there. Nidorino with Ice Beam, I don't think this is going to do anything. So again, Nidorino 285, 364, same thing. Poison Jab, so they don't even have a fast move. They don't have like the Poison Fang like Nidorina. So they only have like nukes, like a Sludge Bomb and Horn Attack. This will probably change the Horn Attack. Poison Jab's an okay charging move, but no, this is not going to do anything for Nidorino. Again, fringe meta if you want to play it once in a while. So this Nidoking is this new fast move. So right now the move is Poison Jab. The problem I have with this is I don't think this new move is going to have as super. I gotta look at the stats again, but I don't think the energy generation that you're gonna get from this new move is gonna be much better than you're gonna get from the Poison Jab. So I don't think Nidoking is gonna do anything. Arcanine, Psychic Fang. So for those of you who never used this Pokemon, basically it only had 2 sort of nukes: Wild Charge and Flamethrower. And it's fun to use if you can get like shields down, but it's very, very glassy. And Snarl does okay energy generation. So what you're going to basically do is Psychic Fang is essentially a bait move. Psychic Fangs. And I think it lowers the attack of your opponent. I forget. It does some sort of a buff or nerf to your opponent. Either nerf to your opponent or boost you. I think it's a nerf to your opponent. So basically what that can allow you to do is get rid of, I'd say, Flamethrower maybe, or Wild Charge. Get rid of one of them, put in the bait, build up to like the Wild Charge or Flamethrower, whatever you have left, bait with the Psychic Fangs, and then hit them with the nuke. Will it have a lot of play? No. I'm focusing on many, many more, starting with Tentacruel. Tentacruel just became meta. So if you have a Tentacruel, start looking into your IVs because this thing is just going to become meta right now because Tentacruel was already a great answer. Double poison for... Sorry, let me bring this up here. Tentacruel was a great answer. So it's 350, which you might think in 350, that's not very good. So the Poison Jab Acid Spray was just a great combo for like Azumarill or anything that's weak to poison where you just did that. The limit was Hydro Pump because it's only a nuke of a move and it took a long time to get to the Poison Jab. So you now have Surf, and Surf is basically going to be allow you to, I wonder if I can, yeah, let's just do this because I think what you can do is change the move. So right now, 24, 22, which is still like really, really good. I think what Surf is going to do is, oops, I keep trying to do it on my, sorry. I keep trying to do it on this when I should, not water. So throw in Surf. So Surf is going to allow you to get, so the thing is like your 24 and 22 record is not bad. What Surf is going to allow you to do is I think is move up some of these hard losses that, so you may not win more. Let's see if you win more. So you actually lose more, 22, 25. So you might think on first, like, why would I do that? And it's because what this allows you to do is increase all those like hard losses there, right? So if you look at the distribution, right? So instead of just having like the super hard losses, you get more losses in like the 200, 300 range, as opposed to having like Hydro Pump, which will move some of those losses down to the 100, 200 range. So, and the 100, 200 range makes a Pokemon unusable because it's just like such a hard punish. You can't have a Pokemon, you can't have a Pokemon that loses in the 100, 200 range so much like that. It's too much. So if you can throw on the Surf there, that bumps all these up to the 200, 300 range, which makes it a more usable Pokemon. So Tentacruel, I think, will, because you have like already nice wins against like Azumarill, Ninetales as a poison, Deox, because unless they throw a Thunderbolt, even that much, you're probably still going to win. Scrafty, same thing. Just having a move that you can, and it's an asset. You also have an acid spray, right? So being able to like lower your opponent's defense and then hit him with like a quick water type move is really, really strong. Galarian Rapidash, I think this fast move, again, I don't think it gives it a ton more play. Haunter, this is one of those, Haunter already has like, Haunter's so glassy if you've never used it. What it's basically doing is going to give you some more coverage move, because right now what you do is, you would use like, if you wanted to give it a coverage, you do like a Shadow Punch with like a Sludge Bomb. So your Shadow Punch with your fast move with the Sludge Bomb. But Shadow Ball is a way better charge move to use. So basically what you would do is you switch in the Ice Punch instead of Shadow Punch, and then run Shadow Ball. That's how I would run it. So others may just run like Double Punch, but I think that's how I would run it. Was Ice Punch sort of the bait move, and then Shadow Ball is your nuke move. Marowak, this is not going to matter because Marowak still has Mud Slap, and Mud Slap is a super slow generating move. So as you can see, 378, 433. It's you have Bone Club, which is fine, and then you have two ground moves. Throwing Rock Slide there doesn't matter when you have Mud Slap. Mud Slap is too slow of a move. Hitmonlee. So Hitmonlee, and this is where someone was joking about. So let's just go to the Hitmon family. Hitmonlee at 779 and 788 is absolutely terrible. So because Rock Smash is a brutal move. This move, this new fast attack double kick will give it a ton more wins. The problem is you're still outpaced by Counter. Counter is the faster damage move here. So when you can have a Hitmonchan or a Hitmontop, which also has, look at the moves on Hitmonlee. Close Combat and Stone Edge. Look at the moves on Hitmontop. Close Combat and Stone Edge. So why would you use a Pokemon that has the same charge moves, but a worse fast move when you can just use the counter? So it doesn't make sense. So Hitmonlee will get better, but overall it's not that big of a deal. Galarian Weezing with this attack fairy. So this is actually an interesting one, because right now it's just brutal down at 768, but that's because tackle. So if you get a super fast, like a Mud Shot fairy type move with Sludge and Play Rough, a nuke of a poison and a sort of super strong fairy move. I think that's going to give it some play. Like you've already taken out like a lot of the darks as is. I think you'll get some more coverage over here, being able to get to your moves a lot faster against these Pokemon. So we will have to see how, when these new moves get updated, how it flips the meta. But I do think that's going to make a difference. Dragonair, when Dragonaire's already had what, like 2 community days, and is already such a strong Pokemon, these Pokemon have become even stronger. So Dragonair, I love using Dragonair. I've used Dragonair so many times in different cups. It's a really nice, especially the Shadow. It's already at 98. The problem is it's a little glassy, and you only had Aqua Tail and then like a nuke like Dragon Pulse, right? Or you can run the return on it. But basically the Dragon Breath damages everything. So now you add a second move of Body Slam in here. And that, I'm going to actually see if I can run the analysis, because that is actually going to make a significant... Open Great League, it's still sort of meh because 21-26, just because there's so many ice and there's so many charmers. There's not much you can do about all the ice and charmers. But to switch out the Dragon Pulse and give it a fast move like Body Slam is going to... If one is going to affect the distribution, I want to see if it affects the win. So 21-26, let's run it. 22 and 25. So you only pick up one more win, but your distribution again is a lot smoother here. And I think on the back end you look a little better too. So having that Body Slam, and Dragonair is already like super good in meta, like a narrow meta when you like have Steel's banned and you have Fairies banned. So if you have like Fairies and Steel's banned, I think Dragonair with Body Slam is going to be like one of the top picks to use. So if you have a good Dragonair built up, I think that's going to be a good one. And Dragonite with Superpower, this is a game changer for Dragonite, because Dragonite, one of the problems is if you ran into a Steel or something like that, like Galarian Stenvex, you can't really do anything right now because your news are, I already had it up, sorry. Because your moves are Dragon Claw and Hurricane or Draco Meteor, right? But now having a Superpower type move, that is going to, I'm going to run in the Great League. I don't think it's going to have as much play in the Great League just because there's so many losses in the Great League. But to add Superpower onto this is going to give you so much more coverage. And look at that. Yeah, you increase your win condition substantially. You lower your hard lock. Again, you're going to lose to Fairies. You're going to lose to Ice. Like, there's nothing you can do there. But to have more coverage there, and I think it's where you're going to see it more, is probably in the Ultra League and the Master League, just having that coverage. So I think Dragonite is a winner here. Ledian, let's see. I'm sure Home Slice is ecstatic about this because he uses it all the time. He loves using it. And this is your coverage move, right? Because you have Bug Bite, Aerial Ace, Bug Buzz. Again, nothing you can really... Aerial Ace is such a bad move. Bug Buzz is a good move, but one, takes a while to get to, and two, limits what you can throw at it. So to have a dynamic punch, again, is just for coverage that you would not get with this Pokemon elsewhere. So nice coverage move. That will bump it up. Again, he runs it for Spice. It's XL'd. It will have some play. I already know. Okay, they're still down. There's so many move updates. Lanturn with Surf. Again, I think this becomes more meta, super strong too, because the thing with Lanturn is already pretty good with the Hydro Pump, and Spark is actually a pretty fast generating move. So you're probably doing okay already. So 22 and 25. But being able to run a super fast water type move that you can either bait with or throw, 27 and 20, right? So that is not an insignificant jump. And like, obviously you're going to lose to grass and stuff like that, but then you're going to probably start picking up some wins over here against Pokemon. Just being able to throw that like Surf quick will probably help you flip some of these matchups that you maybe would have lost before, like the Sableye matchup, something. Yeah, just like not being able to get to the Hydro Pump or something before, you're probably now going to flip against those spammier Pokemon that were sort of close matchups to begin with. So I think Lanturn is going to definitely, you're going to see a lot more Lanturn. I would build one if you don't have one yet. A couple of these, I'm not going to focus too much on. I don't think Jumpluff gets a ton of update with this move. Espeon, again, a nice bait move, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Drafrig, again, we have to see again, the fast move plus a bait move. I think it's going to be spice, but it's not going to be too meta. Let's talk about Miltank and Dunsparce, because the reason they nerfed Rollout is because you give Rollout to these two, they're instantly going to become meta. So let's go to, a lot of people have Miltank, 616, and Dunsparce right now is 369. So right now, the records are probably, 11 and 36 against the meta. But if you change this to rollout, they're going to, again, this is with the current stats. So again, they're going to be nerfed from this, but 1135 to 22 and 25, right? So that's insanely better. And Miltank is probably going to be around the same thing. So Miltank with tackle right now is a cool 4 and 41. Oof. And you throw in rollout, and Miltank will roll to the tune of 23-24, right? So instant huge increases. It's still a normal typing, so it's still going to have a lot of like, again, there's so much counter and all these new Pokemon getting their fighting moves. So it's going to limit their ability a bit in this meta, but I still think it's going to be pretty strong overall. Mawile, no, Steelix, Psychic Fangs. Again, Steelix is one of those Pokemon that it was kind of niche to start with. This is more just giving a bait move. I don't love Pokemon that just give bait moves, so they're not super useful to me. Mawile, Fairy Wind. There's no point in running Fairy Wind. I think, I forget who, maybe it was Throw in his video yesterday, made a good point. Like, right now you're running the Fire Fang. And Fire Fang Power Punch is a deadly combo if you can get that going. There's no point of running Power Punch if you just have a Mud Shot type Fairy Wind attack. So I don't think you're going to be using this on here. Manectric I've used a bunch of times, and this is like the Arcanine where you just have like 2 nukes. So I've used Manectric. Manectric is really fun, super glassy. You know what you use it for. It gets shields down, wild charge overheat. It's the Snarl, same concept as Arcanine. Basically giving you a bait move. So again, if you want to use it as a bait that you could then nuke, sure, but I don't think it's going to change much. Camera Up, Incinerate. I don't think that's going to change much overall. Lopunny with the fast move. Again, I think there's better counter users, and it's a normal type Pokemon too, so I don't think that's super matter. Zubat, again, Psychic Fangs, again, all these bait type moves, I don't love. It helps you in certain situations, but you need to land the bait. Otherwise, you're just going to lose anyways, right? Psychic Fangs on its own is not going to help you win any matchups. It's the bait that's going to do the difference. Florges, I know it won't make a difference. Slurpuff, I think it will make a difference because of its move sets. Because right now Slurpuff is 114 just with Charm. And because it has the charge moves are Flamethrower and Energy Ball, which are actually 2 super strong charge moves. So if you have a Mudshot type charging here, that's going to allow you to get to Flamethrower and Energy Ball quickly. It will provide you a significant amount of coverage, right? Because Slurpuff is a fairy. So what comes in with a fairy? A steel type Pokemon. So if you can get a fairy Pokemon that charges to Flamethrower fast, not looking too bad. So I think Slurpuff is going to have some play. Incineroar with the fast move, again, I don't like this is just a hold until they get its community day. Gliospod with Shadow Claw. I'm going to talk about 2 because Gliospod and Runerigus, I think both had, I forget what the Gliospod was, but Runerigus had an Astonish on its as its fast move. Anytime a ghost Pokemon gets Shadow Claws its fast move, it becomes meta. And you cannot give, and they're not nerfing Shadow Claw on this. So anytime you get a fast move that does that well of energy generation and that well of damage on a Pokemon with decent charge moves, you're in good. So throwing in Shadow Claw, Exogeneralis, so not that one so much, but the Runerigus having Shadow Ball and Rock Tomb with a Shadow Claw now, I think is going to be an instant buff. And Dubwool, I don't even know what the heck this Pokemon is. Body Slam, Wild Charge. So Body Slams, so having again, it's not a counter, but it's a faster charging fighting move that can do Body Slam and Wild Charge coverage. I just think there's probably better what are the typings on this? It's a normal typing, so it's weak to fighting and resist ghost, right? So I look at this, I'm like, okay, so if you're gonna get a body slam wild charge, so the wild charge is nice, but like, why am I not using Vigoroth that has counter, which is a better move, body slam, and then has a nice coverage move with like bulldoze? So that's kind of my thought process behind that one. So that is the meta changes, and this is still a 25-minute video, and I didn't even talk about this season. So again, what should you start looking at? The Renorigas, you either have the Yamask's version or you don't. I forgot about this one. This one I think will now be Master League appropriate or useful, but I don't know how amazing it's going to be because I think the Master League is still going to be dominated by certain Pokemon. So I think Slurpuff's going to be interesting to use. I think Miltank and Dunsparce, you're going to see a lot of those people try Rollout because I think Rollout's an interesting move with these Pokemon. We'll see how much it gets nerfed. I think Lanturn is become meta instantly. I think Dragonair and Dragonite, you're going to see a ton more of. Now having more of the fast move for Body Slam and a coverage move and Superpower. I think Galarian Weezing, you're going to see at least once or twice. I think people try Hitmonlee and then realize, why don't I just use Hitmon top? Because Hitmon top's a better option. And then Tentacruel. You will see a ton of Tentacruel. The rest of them, I'm not seeing a bunch of. And then Zap Cannon, I still think Registeel is going to be everywhere because this does not nerf it enough. And Walrein, I think it's going to be a lot less likely that you'll see it, but I still think it'll be out there. Depends how much energy cost is. So that's it. Let me know what your thoughts on the season are and the changes. And again, I will do my weekly sort of probably tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. It's going to be the season starting with these leagues. And we'll go over what they are and teams to use. So that is it. Thanks for watching. Excited to go back to the grind again, and that is it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.